Welcome everyone. Today we'll have a weekly update video on the latest official update and also on the delay of the official patch for April. So in this video, we'll look into three parts. The first part are some of the official response of the delay of the April content and how this is happening. And also we'll have a look at the previous video we talked about this, why the patch seems to be delayed. On the second part, we'll have a look at some of the potential content for Vern. So this is from the community, and some of those content seems quite interesting. So want to have a look at what we can get from Vern, what are the loot of items, which will be very important once the update comes next week. And on the final part, we'll briefly have a look at the weekly update notes for this patch, what is interesting with 8 hours of maintenance, and why the price is rising, why the price is falling. Now coming over to the first part of the video, as you guys can see over here, this is the official patch notes for this week, and it seems like the April update we're looking for Vern is delayed to the 21st, and this seems to be because of the game is not ready for this week's update. Now what is interesting is we'll be getting additional weekly logins from the 14th of April to the 21st of April, and those are the items over here you can see. We'll come over to the summary notes very soon about this. So one of the bigger things is we want to know is how come there's an update delay and what's happening? So I did find some additional notes about this, and Rox over here says that the April content was not ready for this particular patch of today because there's a lot of things that needs to be worked into, and they probably need another week. And it seems to be there have been a lot of confusion between the community and also the players. Most of us did expect the update to come on the 14th. The reason being over here is if we come over to the login event, most of us can see the login will finish on the 14th, and this was the biggest indication of the next update. Usually people expect this, right? But as of last week, some of us have noticed that there are some items that have been expiring. I actually took the item to my other account, so yes, it's over here. So notice that there's some items that have been expiry date delayed to the 21st of April, and this have happened since last week's update. So we do have a video to talk about this. So notice that those items have been delayed for one more week, and this is a subtle hint from the developers that the updates was getting delayed for next week. And at the time making this video, we was really hoping for this is not the case, but there was a lot of hint already last week in the game to talk about the delays of the update. So it is quite unfortunate we can't get the update this week, but this gives us more time to prepare for the new class and also just more time to progress in the game, right? So hopefully they do this properly, and I can see that this update is actually really long. This update for this week will be 8 hours, and this will also affect the market, which we'll talk about it very soon. Now, knowing that update is likely going to come next week, I also found some Reddit posts and also guides about what's coming in Vern. So this is coming in 120 over here, and there's 2 posts that he has included over here about the content for Vern. I'll briefly talk about this. Once we have the confirmed information, we'll have a look at what is included and what might not be included. Because I have also saw some notes from the developers on the forum that some of the content might not be released right away with Vern. So the first thing is we're likely going to get the Chaos Dungeon for Vern not next week. So what I heard is the 1415 Chaos Dungeons and also to 1445 Chaos Dungeons might not be released right after the Vern content. This might come with the May patch, but over here this is pretty much everything with the Vern content. So keep in mind some of those might not be released. So we can see the Chaos Dungeons which will drop the relic gears after I think 1445. And you can see the 1445, you can see the relic gears getting dropped. And after that there will be another set of the raid. So this will be the Guardian raid, and there seems to be 4 more Guardian raid bosses for the items, and this also dropped the relic set. So what I heard is those will not come until the May patch. Just we're aware what's in the Vern, but all of this might not be released right away. And there seems to be a special feature with a bridge feature. And for this bridge feature, there's also a weekly exchange shop which includes some pretty nice items. So if you guys want to have a look, basically a friend here shows about clearing those items and getting those pieces for the weekly exchange. Now coming over to additional content of the bridge content for Vern, it seems like this is like a solo project that you'll be clearing different maps for different rewards, and there's about 50 levels, including level 1 to level 25 with item loots, but there isn't any loots after 26. It is said players can clear this one, so I think I read somewhere, yeah, he was able to clear this one with 1430 item level by this, around the floor 22. So people were saying once you get over 1445, you can clear up to level 25 for all the loots. And some really interesting loots over here. So you can see a lot of homing materials, more homing materials, and also honor stones and lipstones. And I do believe this one also have an event exchange shop over here as well. So you can see the event exchange or the bridge exchange, and those are the loots. And those are including some of the homing materials that is available for Source Vern. Now, one thing is, we're not sure if this will be released right when Source Vern comes. It is likely Source Vern will be coming in two parts. The first part we get on April, maybe we just get the stories and some basic materials, and on May we get everything from Source Vern. Or maybe we get everything, so I'm not sure at the moment. Because if we do get everything, then everyone wants to push for 1415 right away during the April patch, which could be a little rushing for the players, so let me know what you guys think about this. I'll have the link of those poster guides available for you guys to have a read and also to look what is available. This is from the Korean version translated. Now coming over to a third part, usually we'll do a weekly market summary of what is happening and what are the things that might affect the market. So from the official patch notes, we know the update will be 8 hours, and this leaves us to 3-hour window to sell items. So what I mean by that is I'm currently still trading my items. I'll show you guys over here. So I'm currently still trying to trade my item. You can see my gold is being pretty low, and you can see I have hundreds of items trying to sell. So this is not great in terms of item trading, because once after 11 AM, the chaos gate will open up. So only 3-hour window between the update finish and also the opening of the chaos gate, which is not a great trading window. I'll talk to you guys about this very soon. So we know the update will be huge, and this will be for 8 hours. Now this could end in about 6 or 7 hours, we don't know, but this is a very long update to prepare for next week. Now the login event are not massive. One thing I do notice is that it says Leap's Essence. Does that mean lipstones or does it mean something else? Because if it means lipstones, that's going to drop the lipstone price, right? So for that day and onwards, the lipstone price will drop. But you can see over here, the lipstones are caught on a homing lipstone selection chest. So I'm not sure if this is giving us more lipstones or just some random item. And finally, because this new update for Source Vern, this is delayed for 1 week, and this will affect the prices, and the price have already adjusted to it. So if we come over to the recording of the prices, you can see the Solar Grace fall from 40 gold to 33 gold now, and also Solar Blessing is falling from 150 gold to 120 gold. And finally, Solar Protection, where did that go? Solar Protection has fallen from about 250 gold to 220 gold. So the price of those items have been falling as players are aware that, you know, basically players are dumping some of their materials because there is no update this week and they can wait for 1 more week, right? Now, one interesting thing is over here with the crystal price. Remember last week I was telling you guys, hey guys, there's some items you should look out for. So those are the crystal to gold price, and it's at all-time low at 100 or 310 gold. And remember that? So yes, the crystal price have been going up. And let's have a look at the purchase price. So the purchase price, the highest peak, so the purchase, I was talking about this last week too, we were getting like 20 gold for the pouches, the tier 3 pouches. Now the pouches have risen to 30 gold. And the higher point, I was selling some for like 34 gold. So those have definitely risen up from this week. Now currently the tier 3 pouches have fallen a little bit, so simply because there is an update hype this week, so you can see it's fallen to 31 gold. It was around 34, 35 gold yesterday before I went to bed, so you can see the price fluctuation a little bit. And instead of going through those, which were pretty standard, so the biggest factor for the price to rise and fall is the anticipation for the new weekly patch, which did not come. After that, this fell by about 10 to 20%. I do want to quickly summarize the item of interest. So instead of going all the items to summarize everything, I think we know most of those by now. One thing to highlight those, the skin price and also mod price have been rising up. So what I want to show you guys, let's come over to one of the pets. So I was actually a little surprised. So let's have a look over here. So those are the arbitrage prices. So notice that some of the skin and also some of the mod prices, notice that the cat boxes were selling for 6,000 gold. It is now selling for like 12,000 gold. It seems like there seems to be some profit to be made, but I'm still looking into this. This is also the similar case for other skins and also mods, but I'm still looking into this. So while the price is stabilizing, there could be some profit to be made, but be careful of the risk. Now, as for the item of interest, so we'll pretty much expect the update to come next week. Because if it doesn't come next week, we'll feel to be like, kind of misled, right? So, as I was saying last week, the prices for tier 2 and also tier 3 pouches are likely going to go up. The tier 2 pouches are for the new class. The tier 3 pouches are for the players that goes beyond 1370, because you start to need a lot of that. And the market price does reflect that, because last week they were about 25 gold. This week they're about 30 gold. So there could be profit to be made on those items, but make sure you buy those at a discount. So what I mean by that is, let's say if I'm looking into pouches, the pouch average price, notice the lower point was 22 gold, 24 gold about a few days ago. Now it's 33 gold. Try to buy them around 25 or 24 gold on my server. So this is the example using the average price. Don't buy them at the average price right now. Buy them at a lower price so you can make some profit. Or if you try to use them, buy them at lower price. The price will fall after basically the 2 chaos gate reset. So this will be after Friday, and this will also be after Monday. So the price of those items will fall after those time of the chaos gate reset. Now for the gold to crystal price, as you guys know, those have been risen up. And I have been stocking about 5,000, 6,000 crystals. So you can see this actually risen to 440. Look at that. I was trying to buy this at 330. This never purchased. Notice that before I was buying a lot of those at 300, and those were really good transactions. So those have risen. There could be a small chance of this to fall because there's no weekly update. But the chances of the crystal price rising is still pretty high, because if you look at it, this is the trend. I'm not saying to rush to buy crystals with your gold, but there could be a chance of this rising, because I can't give you guys a guarantee whether this gonna fall, whether it's gonna rise, because the market is a little unpredictable on this one, but it seems to be rising at the moment. And as for making some extra profit, so this one, instead of the Guardian Stones, I was going to say Destruction Stones have been making me tiny profits. They're not a lot of profit. I'll talk to you guys about this in a proper video of making gold. So notice that those are selling for 22 gold. So what I try to do is, this is actually a little adjusted this week. So because people are dumping those at 24 gold. I was buying those at 21, 22 and 20, pretty much 22 gold. I was selling those at 25 gold to make 1 gold difference. It's not a big deal. I make like 500 to 1,000 gold this way just by buying a bunch at 22 gold and selling at 25 gold. But I don't recommend buying this after the weekly reset, because the price will shift 1 to 2 gold downwards. The fee is 2 gold, so you got to be aware of this. So I was buying this at 21, 22 gold and selling at 25 gold to make 1 to 2 gold extra. But don't get too greedy, don't buy too much of those, because the price will fall after the weekly reset. Now, as for the tier 3 upgrade materials, they're still falling at the moment, and I do believe they will fall into a super low point, and then I'll try to buy them. So at the moment, for those materials, this is like 37 gold. It's actually going up a little bit. I'm actually pretty happy, because I need to sell them, right? So the price of those items, the Solar Grace, the lowest point is about 31 or 30 gold, and similarly Solar Blessings is about 100 and 120 gold. So if you look at average 5-day prices, you try to find if you can buy those at a low point. Don't buy those at average price, but I do believe those will rise, just anticipating for the weekly update for the coming week, because now it's pretty much confirmed for next week. And finally, for the Lipstones. Now the Lipstone price have already reflected a massive rise by 25%. What I mean by that is, the Honor Lipstones were selling for 20 gold, now it's selling for 24 and 25 gold, so notice most are listing at 25 gold. So the Honor Stone price have been reflected. The Greater Honor Lipstone price is not going up as much. The reason being is, most players only farm Honor Lipstones with alt characters, but they're farming Greater Honor Lipstones. So the Greater Honor Lipstone prices are likely going to go between 100 to 110. The Honor Lipstone prices probably going to stay like this or even go down a little bit, but it's hard to tell because it will be a new class that will want both of the Lipstones if people start to level those up for the Glaveria, right? So I would say Honor Lipstones are too risky to invest in now because they don't have that much potential. The price have already risen. Now, hopefully you guys found this update video helpful, because I try to look into all the information that is available this week, what we learn and why the prices changes, and try to use those to predict for next week. But before we finish, guys, please remember, those are my personal predictions for my server and also my region. Don't follow me blindly, because for different regions like Europe and also US East compared to US West, we can have different preference, different population, and also different trend for the market. So please be aware of this. Now, if you guys haven't subscribed to this YouTube channel, make sure you do so. because we'll be getting a lot of guides, a lot of tips as I discover them, and I love the game. So I want to share as much as I can with you guys, and let's have a great time in Lost Ark as we explore this game and get the most out of it.